Oh, are we back? I think we're back. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Truth Quest again. My name is Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going to go on a quest for truth together. Yes, we are, and we're back. Mud Rabbit and Philip, Oliver, and Dark Brain are here. Yes. I just don't know what happened. I turned it off, and then I turned it back on again. Operation Shutdown. Hey, I should have asked you for advice because you're the expert on shutting down. Oh, you were the lucky number 1. I'm going to be the lucky number 5. All righty. Yeah, we're back again. Now we got 2 shows with the identical name. I wonder what they'll do when they find that out. I'll have to, you know what, I can probably go in there right now and adjust it, right? So that I don't get, hey, you got 2. Sometimes they'll, if they find 2 of the same name, they'll eliminate one. So just in case, I'm gonna just put part B or something, all right, on the second one, the one we're on right now. And I'm really sorry that that happened, friends. Boy, we were just getting into it too. We got that 107 comparison that we did, and talking about other stuff too, like cool lawnmowers, right? Okay, this is going to be 94.5. Almost sounds like it could be like a radio station, right? I guess we're kind of like a radio station here, aren't we? Yes, we certainly are. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Gotta hit that. And this. And grab this. I'm just doing this, friends, to put it into the show part of the video details. Copying and pasting, that's all I'm doing. And okay. I have to mark it like this. Hit save. And we're almost there, friends. Gosh. Someday I'll have a tech director that can do all this kind of stuff for me. And then, you know, I won't be trying to do something and talk at the same time. So there we go. Doing the best I can, baby. All right. See if that works. All right, let's get back over here. Yeah, the Patriot Double Down was incredible. Did you see that? Who was that actor that did the Passion of the Christ, and he gave that really incredible speech? Wow. I was impressed for sure. He really, he's paid his dues, hasn't he? Wow. Acting isn't always easy, friends. Just ask William Shatner up there how easy acting is. It's kind of tough. So, yes, Jim Caviezel. Yeah, he was on fire. Yes, he was really knocking them out, man. Talk about the passion of the actor, huh? Passion of the actor. And his initials are JC. Isn't that interesting? So yeah, let me just show you what I was going to show you before when we were so rudely interrupted by some kind of tech giant pressing his boot on my neck, my digital neck. Could be the reason. Could be the reason, because this was what I was trying to share, and it froze up right when I hit the share button. And will it do it again? Only time will tell. Yes. How to properly treat a beagle. Look at that. Dog comms. Look at that. That's incredible. I love that picture. I don't know. He didn't have a dog in the White House, isn't it? Am I correct on that? I believe he was the first one in a long time not to have one. And look, I think the commander in chief that's residing there now, his dogs were like biting people, right? Boy, you imagine if that would have happened, if Trump would have had a dog that bit somebody. I mean, it would have been, oh, it's a Russian dog. It's a Russian retriever. Oh, yeah. And he had dinner salad with Russian dressing. Oh, my goodness. That's evidence. That's the kind of evidence they had, folks. He used Russian. And the joke was on them. It was Roquefort. You don't hear that anymore. What kind of dressing? I'd like Roquefort, please. Roquefort. Right? Remember that? Am I the only one remembering that, friends? Could be. Could very well be. There we go. Yes, that's the dog comms for sure. Isn't that interesting? It's the same exact kind of dog that Trump has been taking a picture of with. Isn't that interesting? Of all the different types of dogs he could have held in a photo, that's the kind of dog. Imagine that. Almost as if he had a time machine. Oh, gee, look what happens to, look at this news article that comes out in 2021 in October. We better get a picture of you with this beagle, because some news is going to come out about a beagle. We want to give the meme lords some good material, right? Right? Yeah. The meme lords. That's a great one. I love that one. Fuego. And that was a great name for a car, the Fuego. Land of Fire. Yeah. So there you go. What else was I going to show you before we were so rudely interrupted? We saw the dads on duty. I think that's a fantastic thing. Dads on duty. And I'm gotta show this one. I'm sure my my buddy Mike is gonna like this. So let me see if I can find that. I got to eliminate some of these so that I can see what's going on. There we go. And there you have it. How do you like that? Let me check the slee stack. Now, every time you acknowledge, love, heal, and integrate your shadow side, a reptilian goes hungry. And there's a picture, a classic picture of one of the slee stack from that famous 70s show, Land of the Lost. Oh yeah. And you will be good. You might be interested to know that I sent a message to one, where's his name? The guy that played the dad on, what's his name? McMillan? Spencer something. Spencer. McMillan or McDougan or something. Anyway, he lives in this area here, and I met him a couple years ago at the post office, Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. So I put a message into him to see if he wants to come on and do an interview, because my friend Mike was talking about this show and how predictive it was. It had underground reptilians in the slee stack that were, controlling things with crystals. Interesting. And now what are we learning about the crystals and reptilians and Chaka? Yeah. Sapo. Hey, Sapo. Good to see you here. I'm glad y'all came back. So now we got two episodes for today. Look at that guy. I mean, these guys were pretty creepy. They did move kind of slow, though, so you could outrun them pretty good. Yes, he played Marshall. Yeah. Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition. Something like that, right? They did use crystals, yep. So there you go. A little predictive programming, maybe a little bit of revealing of the dark side. Oh, we better tell them what we're doing. Also, it also has a connotation to the inner earth, where, remember, a lot of people who claim to have been there say there are animals that no longer exist on the surface, but they keep some of them down there. They're not deadly anymore, but now when Corey was down there, he said he felt this rumbling, some big cat or some large animal very close. He never saw it, but he felt it rumbling in his gut. And hey, Sapo. So yeah, there you go. Oh, remember when they showed the waterfall and they got stuck in a time loop? No, I don't remember that one. I may have missed a few of them. It was one of the Sid and Marty Krofft shows. And of course, they had the stop motion dinosaurs, which every kid was like enthralled with. And, it was always the fun part of the show when they showed the dinosaurs, right? That's the fascinating part about it. Yeah, I think crystals are alive now, remember. That's why I try not to touch crystals, because I think, I don't know, I think your oils in your hands affect them somehow. I'm not sure. I know nothing about them. The Mars reptoids look nothing like this TV costume. Probably not. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they went, well, we got these round black things to use for the eyes. I guess we'll use those. You know, they just probably whipped it together, right? But it's the symbol, it's a symbology of it. And for, you know, for a TV show back then in the mid 70s, that's really quite good, actually. It really is. And they had to make multiple ones. So, um, oh, Enoch, Inky. I'm not sure about the Inky story. That just rings false to me. I don't know. I know a lot of people like it. I can't get with it. The cave girl riding the Triceratops was awesome. I don't remember that. Maybe I should start watching old episodes, get reacquainted. But this guy Spencer, he's been in lots of other things. I was quite surprised. HR Puff and stuff, yeah, fun stuff. They had some pretty fun shows. Those big puffy people walking around. Yeah, Sid and Marty Krofft. Check it out if you're looking for. I'm surprised they didn't do something like Barney, right? It's right up their alley, right? The Barney type character. Yeah. So that's that. The Slee Stack, always fun to talk about, to look at, think about that kind of thing. So today, friends, I was looking at some pictures, one picture of Jupiter, and it was a pretty close-up picture. I took that picture and I mirrored it. And this is one of the images that I got. Just one of them. Check that out. Isn't that interesting? So there you go. Now we could pump the color up on it and it would get brighter. Let's see. It brings out all the color a little bit more. And we'll bring the brightness up a bit. And it almost looks like one of those elaborate egg carvings that they do. Those, what do they call them? Fabergé eggs. But look at that. Isn't that incredible? This is from the one picture of Jupiter. And it's transposed upon itself. And the top picture is the exact opposite of the bottom picture, and it's half-toned. So you get these symmetrical collages that happen as you move the top picture along. Every centimeter creates a completely different image. Similar colors. But so keep this one in mind, and I'll show you another one. Okay. Looks like an egg, doesn't it? Here's another one. Okay, there we go. What do you think about that? Look at that thing. Let's brighten that thing up a bit. Look at that. See, that's from the same image. I just moved the top image over a little bit, and it just creates this cornucopia of new fantastic images. And look, it looks like there's a face right here, like a square face. Look at that. Like some kind of Father Time or something. And it looks like some guy in a jetpack here, like with a stormtrooper helmet. I don't know. That's pretty dinomatic, I'd say. What do you think, friends? Pretty cool. A lion face, skull. Oh, Mudrabi, you have your Saturn t-shirt. Awesome. Yeah. Aren't these cool? Yeah, I may make these into shirts too. I just love these images. They're just so beautiful. They're so, and you know, there's a guy out there, and I can't remember his name. I ran across him again today. He claims he's created this new kind of camera that captures images of other dimensional beings. And all he's doing is what I'm doing here. You're just reversing it and transposing it and getting symmetrical images that look like faces. That's all it is. That's all it is. Oh, and I was going to do the call-in too, wasn't I? Let me get that for you all here before it doesn't work again. Okay, copy. Thank you all for coming back. You guys rock. And not only that, but the one-tap mobile people, they need their little thing too, right? Let's get that in there. Because some of y'all like to do it this way. So there you go. I hope that's helpful. Your bad eyes don't allow you to, mine too, Green Dragon 64. I got big blind spots in my eyes and I can't see very well either. That's why I got to look, I'm always tipping my head up because I got to look through the bifocal to even barely see anything. So yeah, it's getting tough. But there you go. I'm grateful for the vision that I have, though. I have more than some. So even though I'm losing it, I'm very thankful for it. I got another one of these things to show you. And let's see. Here it is. Now this one, I flipped it, okay, just to see how different it would look if I flipped it, right? So with the blue on the top. Why don't I just change it? And then you can get a better image of it compared to the ones we just saw. Well, there you go. So that's pretty cool, huh? Let's brighten it up a bit. Oh, that's too much, maybe. Get a little more darkness in there. A little more color. Look at that. It's like a gem. It's like an architectural gem or something. Looks like there's some kind of a werewolf type being here holding some magical butterfly being or something, right? Incredible. Looks like it's some kind of cave. The big chair, you know, big a master's chair, like some kind of dungeony type place in this other realm. But yeah, so there's this guy who claims he's got this camera he invented that he takes pictures of other dimensional beings. So I think he's just doing this. I mean, you can find faces in this all day long. I mean, right now I'm seeing like an insect head. Like here's the two compound eyes, and here's the pincer mouth, and little nubs here, like a caterpillar or something. Some kind of insectoid. Looks like an insectoid up here too, some kind of weird shaped head thing. Bizarre. It's just bizarre. And you can look all day in this and you know, get close to it, take a look at it, blow it up on a big screen. Maybe I'll make it into a t-shirt, whichever one of these is your favorite. Or else I'll just have to figure it out. Oh, thank you, Mud Rabbit, for putting my PayPal. Yeah, PayPal me / Aaron Moriarity 17. I like that number for some reason. That's a good number. Yes, put it on a shirt. Yeah, I'll have to figure out which one of those is the best. But I kind of like them all. I also want to do another one with a love bug saying you are loved. Because everyone is loved. Everyone should feel loved, I think. Don't you think? Yeah. I think so. 94.5. That's the episode. All righty, Aphrodite. Now, this cat turd rocks. Don't you just love cat turd? I think cat turd always says what people are thinking. Don't you think? Is he coming up? Yeah. Says good morning to everybody except, you know. Hey, Q Trendsetter. Yeah, the Truth Quester family. All the Truth Questers here. Thank you all. Yeah, cat turd rocks. I just love cat turd. Good morning to everyone except evil demonic monsters who torture and kill puppies and call it science. And then you get POTUS 45 holding a beagle, big smile on his face. The dog doesn't have a care in the world. He's in good hands with a good person. They tend to identify with cat turd more than anybody else, I think. Cat turd pretty much says what I'm thinking 24/7. Like I read a cat turd post like this, and I go, wow, that's kind of like what I was thinking. Yeah. You got to love those glasses. And the name, it's so funny. Because you know what? You have a cat, you're going to get that too. And not just the place where it's supposed to be, right? I've seen cats. I've seen this. Yeah. I don't have cats. So there you go. But cat turd is okay. I'd make an exception for cat turd. Makes you wonder who it is. You know, maybe it's Trump. Wouldn't that be funny? Find out who these people are. Oh, Peggy Dancer's in the house. Hello, Peggy Dancer. How you doing? The whole family's here. This is awesome. Oh, you know, when a car, you know, living up here in the north, cars, you know, I know down south cars don't rust. Up here they rust. So I noticed some rust on my car. It was like, wow, there's quite a bit of it. So I got some spray on rust remover. And now I got some problems, as you can see. As you can see. Try to get rid of these as quick as I can. As you can see. There it is. We got more problems now, baby. We got no rust, but the rust was all holding hands and was the only thing holding the darn thing together. Well, there you go. There's a little dad joke for you. How do you like that? What is going on with this thing? Something's going on with this, friends. So there you go. Your Peggy Dancer's doing okay. Aaron, busy weekend with prayer requests and such. Okay, well, let's pray for Peggy Dancer. Anything that you need. Oh, is Jacob Waters here? Hello, buddy. There he is. Hello, friend. Yeah, a little rust remover. Works a little bit too good. Just a little bit too good. That rust remover. You know, when I lived in Rhode Island, they had a law there that you could not drive your car on the road if it had rust. I'm like going, if they would have had that law in Minnesota, there wouldn't be any traffic. But apparently they're worried about fenders falling off. I mean, obviously, if you let it go that long. Yeah. Too funny, huh? Who did the frog a call when his car broke down? The towed truck? Who did the frog call when his car broke down? The towed truck? Have his truck towed? I don't know. What is it, Q Trendsetter? It sounds like a joke. It looks like a joke. And it's my good friend Miguel Pena. So we're going to bring him on in. Go with the gallery view. All right. There he is, the man on the mountain. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man, how you doing?
I'm doing good tonight. How we doing? Now I've been watching you and following along and everything else, and I've got to mute your stream because
Okay.
there's interference, obviously. So, thank you very much for letting me on. And yes, I'm the man in the mountain with my own little forest. Um,
That's so cool.
watching your show, your Mars videos, and your T-shirts. I love that design. You can find like a million faces in that design. that
Yeah.
looks like those Indian things that you see in the Hayavedra and shit.
Right.
Put that on a t-shirt. That will definitely fucking rock. But anyway, sorry. Wrong channel. I shouldn't be cussing as much. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I have a couple shirts out there already with designs kind of like that, but not those exact ones. But I really like those.
I know the shirt you got, and those are cool too. Actually, who was sporting your hoodie, your Truth Quest hoodie?
Oh, that was Todd Swearingen.
There you go. You know, he
Yeah.
was in the middle of the woods with the trees and everything else wearing
Oh,
your
beautiful
Truth Quest hoodie.
picture. Yeah, beautiful picture. Yeah, Todd and Carrie Swearingen, they're great people. They're mods on the Sphere Being Alliance Facebook page, I think.
Okay, that
They
one
help out with
I had.
Corey Good. They help out with Corey Good.
Yeah, I'm part of it. I've been watching some of Corey's stuff as well. So yeah, it's all good and it's all interesting. How you doing tonight? And I'm glad to actually be corrected. Yes, that is Mr. Shatner going, holy shit, somebody else is going to space.
Yeah.
And we've got everything about his program is predictive programming, even down to the fucking phone we used about 15 years ago. The flip phone was inspired by Star Trek, and
yeah.
Now holy cow, we're setting up a highway to the moon.
Oh yeah.
Just because we got to beat the Chinese to it.
Yeah. Well, whoever gets there first gets the most cheese.
Well, see, it's like a stopway point going off to Mars and that sort of thing. They're setting up truck stops.
You know what my mom told me?
What?
When she was in school, she had a teacher that actually said, yes, the moon is made of cheese. The moon's made of cheese.
You guys were in Wisconsin, right?
No, that was in Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Because in Wisconsin, everything's made of cheese.
Well, yeah, I live here in Wisconsin, and I don't understand it. I mean, when I first moved out here, I went to go get some gas, and at the gas station, they have little baggies with like oil separated cheese curds, like really nasty looking.
I don't know. The baggies that I got at gas stations had different things in them. So no, I don't know about cheese curds.
So I picked one up. I said, people buy these? Oh yeah, they're very popular. I'm going,
cheese curds.
Because in the cheese making process, I believe the cheese curds is like the stuff that rises to the top. You wipe that off, and then you wait, and it solidifies and turns into cheese or something like that. It's the
sort
stuff
of a byproduct that you don't want, so you toss it off to
right. But they eat it here like it's. But they do. They deep fry it, and they take something unhealthy and make it as more unhealthy as they possibly can.
Well, every single society that we know makes their what end up being cultural references out of their basic needs and necessities. For example, German background, we love steak and potatoes, right? Potatoes. Why? Because fuck all. There was a time when the only thing that we could eat was potatoes. We survived. I mean, culturally, I'm speaking like 200 years ago, we survived on potatoes. So that became a staple of what our culture was. Today, we associate the Chinese with eating bugs and beetles and roaches and ants covered in chocolate and that sort of thing. But that is also restricted to what Mao introduced and the famine that their culture had. They didn't do that before. I fucking guarantee you. I've looked into it.
Well, that
was something
we had in Minnesota. In Minnesota, we had hot dish. What are we having for dinner, Mom? Hot dish. Oh, okay.
Hot dish.
Hot dish. Yeah.
Which means anything heated.
Anything, yeah. In a casserole. Anything. It could be like tuna casserole. It could be like hamburger casserole,
All right, so let's turn this into a recipe page. You got 4 casseroles right there. How do you make each one of those casseroles? Because there's nothing better to a church crock pot than casseroles. Because everybody brings a casserole. You never know what they're going to bring.
I always bring the chips. I always bring
neighbor you don't trust. And the other lady, you know, her casserole is always good, but you never know what's in there.
Yeah.
So you can give us some casserole recipes.
They
go along with the dad jokes.
I'm the wrong person to ask. I bring the chips, is what I bring. I bring the chips.
Well, whenever there's a party, I'm the barman.
Oh, yeah?
I serve the drinks.
I wouldn't know how to make all those drinks.
I make whatever you want, and I usually participate. Hey, there's always a 10% commission, right?
All right. Well,
part of sales. Whenever you sell something, there's always a 10% commission. That's basically.
It's more now.
Depending, sometimes it's less. Down in Brazil, they pay you 4%. It's fucking ridiculous.
Really?
That's
4%.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It's
4% of $1 million is not bad though.
Yeah, try and close $1 million deal down here. That's a whole nother story. We got speaking of down here.
I'm working on my second million.
Got your first already? Congratulations.
I missed my first million.
You missed your first one, so you're going directly for the second.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a good dad joke. I've used that before.
First, you're going for your second. All right. Yeah, that'll work. Have a plan. Jacob and I have a mutual friend who's got a plan that did that. It's called Bitcoin. I've got a plan that's called land. Yeah, so each one's got their plan on getting there. But in the end, my mom always told my dad something, and she was absolutely right. You can't eat bricks. So don't forget food. Make sure that you're stocked up. Make sure that you have some kind of production. So outside of my rhetoric and general political BS that I usually go down into, let's go, Brandon. What holes are we going to? I prefer yours, which are usually about Mars and the moon and that sort of thing. And considering that I mistook Shatner for Elon Musk, I don't know how that fucking happened. It must have been a Freudian slip of some kind. But anyway, where are we going tonight? You said you had some Mars pictures you wanted to show.
I did? No, that was Jupiter pictures. Those are the ones I just showed.
Jupiter. You're right. Jupiter. I was there. You're right.
Yeah.
I was thinking Mars because of Corey Good. Yeah.
Corey Good.
That's actually Jupiter. That's actually beautiful. But that's Jupiter.
Yeah, that's Jupiter. What I did was I took a single picture. It's a close-up picture of Jupiter. And then I duplicated that picture, made a copy of it, and then flipped it horizontally, and then half-toned it on top of the other picture. So
that's Jupiter. Holy fucking cow, that's beautiful. I didn't realize that's Jupiter. I thought that was like some art from the Indian Ayurveda or some shit like that. Something that was 5,000 years old, inspired in some kind of mystic herb. Because look at all those faces. That's Jupiter?
Yeah, that's Jupiter.
You did a fantastic job, Mr. Moriarty. Holy cow, you created art. That's what I'm talking about. Needs to be on your shirt.
I call it mirroring. So you're mirroring. You take a single picture. Let me see if I can find that a single picture and show you what that picture looked like to begin with. Where is it? But yeah, it's a fun thing. I kind of stumbled on it along many years ago, a few years ago, and it was creating these beautiful images very easily.
But it is that's what kaleidoscopes were back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah,
they end up mirroring everything inside, multiple mirrors, and they're beautiful images, absolutely. But this is mystic art, my friend. This is absolutely beyond anything that I've truly seen, to be honest with you. This is absolutely phenomenal.
I'm going to show you the source of all of those 3 different designs I showed you. It was from this one picture, a beautiful close-up picture of juniper.
Juniper. Oh, wow. All those figures that are recognized in the picture are there.
Yeah.
Seriously. But that's a time lapse. because you don't have those spots on a constant basis throughout Jupiter. That's a band. So that's basically a rotation. That's a time lapse of the rotation of Jupiter.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
incredible.
It changes by the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually capturing one, because you're following the storm on that going across the orbit of the planet, and you're catching all these other ones, which are absolutely fantastic. It's capturing the movement of the storm winds themselves, and that's
things right here. These dots. Look at that.
yeah, that's the continuation of the storm. That's how I saw that it's time lapse photography, because it's that
Wait a
same
minute.
storm going over
These
time.
are the finger holes of the bowling ball. That's what they are. I just figured it out.
Well, if you've got five middle fingers, yeah, that'd be interesting. And that's a one big fucking bowling ball, let me tell you. But what I was looking was the storm eddies that you got below those circles. That is absolutely incredible.
Right
that's,
here?
we're talking that right there.
Yeah.
That right there is what I'm talking about, is like
calligraphic.
and
It
chaos.
looks like, yeah, it looks like dragons or something. But you know what Corey said that they found in the cloud tops of Jupiter were these plasma beings.
Oh, wow, we're seeing plasma. You're right. Holy cow.
Life forms. Now, we're probably not close enough to see them.
No, but still, they're huge, because, I mean, these things are about twice the size of the planet Earth, to be honest with you, from the perspective that we're looking at, because Jupiter is fucking huge. Okay, so whenever we're looking at it.
But the life forms that Corey was talking about, what they took a sample and brought it into the ship, and it did not survive. And they went to go get another one, and the other one was showing evasive moves, was trying to get away from getting snatched. So they went, wow, these are like life forms.
Yeah.
And
they know what's going on.
So that
you tried to catch one, they're not going to let you catch the other one. They're not fish.
They were feeding off of the radiation in the cloud tops of Jupiter.
Oh, wow. Well, that makes a lot of sense, because, I mean, holy cow. The eye of Jupiter is a hurricane that's been running for, nearly 500 years. It wasn't always there. And so that's the amount of energy that's in Jupiter. And that's just absolutely incredible. And that image is fantastic.
I think that I think that all of the bands are different kind of storms going on constantly.
You look down at the bottom and it looks like Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night.
I know. I love the colors. It's just, and that's just the raw image. That's not enhanced.
Yeah, so exactly.
If you pump the color up, it goes like that. But then if you go back to normal,
it loses the essence.
It's pretty cool. So in other words, I take this image and I duplicate it, and then
mirrored,
flip it, and then halftone it, and then I can make numerous pictures from that one picture. Like,
and all the faces that were in the middle of that, and imagine that those are probably just faces that we see from our own imagination, and that's the way it is.
Yeah. So see if you can find them in this image.
So yeah, I'll stick with this one.
I think that one's the one I was talking about. Yeah,
that's the image. I mean, but that is just incredible. So congratulations.
This is another one. So we had one, and then we showed Jupiter, and this is another one. So this is actually another one, a different one from the one we saw. It's slightly different. It's more stretched out. It's not as turned into itself as much.
Why am I seeing a gremlin on the top? Do you see that too?
Oh yeah. You're right. It does look like a gremlin.
It's exactly like it, and the ears and everything else. Even the eyes are there. It's like,
look at this. It looks like an insect head right here.
No. That's the Mowgli that you can't get wet. The Mowgli turns into the gremlin.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, the gremlin. Yeah.
You remember the Mowgli turned into the gremlin?
Yeah, the Mogwai.
Mugwort, there you go. So you got the little one turned into the big fat demon and shit. Well, that would be symbolic. Holy crap. Wow. Okay. That just looks evil.
Almost looks like an elongated skull, doesn't it?
We'd need to flip it over because that way we'd have the blue on the top, and that would be more irradiant. Although I'm seeing a figure sitting down with cupping something in his lap. Really bizarre.
There it is
Um,
upside down. Now you don't have the
Are
gremlins much.
what does that look like? That reminds us of
You know,
my
no,
mind goes to elongated skulls, and I'm still seeing the predator's freaking spider mouth there in the bottom. So that's bizarre. That's where my mind goes and where my psychology is. So that's on me. Sorry. What do you see in the Rorschach test, Aaron?
right. Everybody sees something different, you know. I
Let me get into that chat. I'm missing the
I
chat.
see this. I see this. Looks like a entryway to a gateway to something. Like two lions right here on the walls, and you go inside here, and it's some kind of, I don't know, crystal city. Looks like some kind of crystal city up here. You know, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. I love it.
City.
I
I
love
don't know
this.
much about the Crystal City, but yeah, okay.
Let's see what people are saying. Oh, Abby's going to bed. Okay.
Guy in the middle looks like an alien. I'll have to look at that one. Yeah, but Predator. I'm still seeing those freaking mandibles of like that. I don't know. That movie freaked me out. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
a whole other thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though, huh? All from that one picture. I can
That
make.
is, it's incredible how you did that. I mean, so many things that we can actually see, and that's the beauty of the human brain as well.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. Your mind always looks for symmetry,
we
and
try and find
even with
patterns.
babies,
That's what we do.
and from being a baby, the first thing you home in on is concentric circles as
Oh,
as an
interesting.
infant. As an infant, yes, because that's an eye, like the eye of your mother or father, and it's also a nipple, which is life, food.
Ooh,
So
yeah,
so
I get into those to this day.
well,
I enjoy
I'm
those.
talking about survival of the infant. So this is what Dr. Lou
Yeah,
Lips.
but what about the inner child? The inner child needs to be fed too, Aaron.
No. This is the raw instinct at birth.
I know.
Like
And we all want to get back to
out
that
of
point because that is the most peaceful and protected and beneficial era of everyone's life,
yeah.
usually.
So I had the pleasure of working with Dr. Lou Lipset. He did a lot of studies on the psychology of babies, and
Okay.
and so they were advising us because we were trying to come up with like very simple mobiles, and it turns out concentric circles. So if you have a getting mobile for a baby, look for something with concentric circles that'll grab their
See,
attention.
I focused on different shapes because I thought that would be stimulating. And I had animals in there as well for them to
Mhm.
recognize different things.
And animals have eyes.
Actually,
Yeah. So yeah,
the
concentric circles.
mobiles that I used were more from Pooh, because I'm a Pooh fan. So he had Tigger and Eeyore and Rabbit and Pooh
Yeah,
Bear and Piglet
there you go.
floating around and bugged them, because that's just me. In the beginning, then again, I was what 32, something like that,
Mhm.
and so I was sort of mirroring myself on to them, which is a tendency that most humans have a
Mhm.
tendency to do. You want to put your tastes and preferences onto the kid. Yeah. Um, in the beginning, I thought they would like it. There were things they enjoyed, and I fed off of them, which means that if they enjoyed it more, I would do it more. If they enjoyed it less, I would do it less. So if there were things that I introduced that they didn't enjoy, then I wouldn't do that anymore. Cars, for example, was a movie that they enjoyed. So we watched Cars on a frequent basis. Star Wars video games, I'm a fan, but they didn't seem to mind it very much. So they became Star Wars fans as well. So there are things to where they didn't mind, and that's great. And there are things that, they enjoyed. Um, what's that purple fucking dinosaur? Oh my God, Barney. There you go. Which I swore that I would, when I was a teenager, that I would never, ever freaking love Barney. And now the song that we sing each other, that we recognize the familiar love, is Barney's end song at the end of this freaking show.
Mhm.
I love you, you love me, we're happy. So, those things you change with time and you adapt to your audience's needs as well. My audience, in that case, being my boys. So I made sure that things were the way that they enjoyed them to be, not what I imposed
Yeah.
on them.
I never understood the hatred of Barney. I didn't understand it. And I
It's
thought,
just too, the thing
no,
is that
no,
it's too
no,
cutesy and it's
no. What
too
about Big Bird?
blah,
What
blah,
about
blah.
Big
It's
Bird?
all
What
being,
about Big Bird then? Big Bird was around way longer. And no one hated him. I mean, I think it was the time period. People were
no,
just
it's the
hateful
environment in which, see, Big Bird wasn't the boss of everything. Big Bird was just some that came in, and the Snuffleupagus was something that was kind of bizarre.
I'm
And
just
all
saying,
inspiring at the same time.
I'm just saying that I've never seen a character from a child's show be hated so much by adults. It was very reflexive, and
Because it's
it, was,
too
it
fake and
didn't
it's
make
too
any sense
childish.
to
It's
me.
talking down to the
To me,
kids, to be honest with you. I mean, Big
it was
Bird didn't really talk down to the kids the way that Barney did. And that is annoying.
I just don't think that he was talking down to kids. Do you know how Barney started?
Go
Here's an
ahead.
here's an
I don't
interesting
know.
backlog on Barney. So these parents wanted to make videos and sell to daycares. So they made this costume and they did these songs and they sold these videos to these daycares. They weren't making very much money, selling to daycares. Daycares don't have much money. They were selling individual tapes that they had to make and copy. But one of the parents worked for PBS, and
Yes, being.
she saw one of the tapes and went, "Wow, this is something else." And they said, "Hey, we want to produce this. Let's make a better suit. Let's do this." And I just think a purple dinosaur with kids in a daycare is a great idea, and they're singing and happy. I think there's nothing better than that for a kid's thing. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah,
And
I understand that. But whenever you're in your late teens and early 20s, just listening to that Barney song puts your nerves on edge because it's like,
I don't know.
no.
It never did that for me. I never understood I never understood why people hated it so much. And I
But it's
really
it's
think
it's it's
there
the
was a lot
mindset
of
and the
things
spirit.
there's a lot of things people hated at that period of time. I think there was a lot of
No, the
hate
thing
in
is, Aaron, that you've never been in a hateful spirit, and so you don't understand that, and that's absolutely fantastic. And that's the thing. One of the
well,
things that everybody loves about you and your
I've been
show.
hateful. I've
Your
been
your dad jokes, your dad jokes are a perfect example of that. I mean, you are just the embodiment of love and generosity and kindness, and it's just cool being around your essence, Aaron, and that's the thing.
thank thanks, man.
Now,
Appreciate
I am not that same essence. So there are different spirits there that control your personality, what you do, your intentions, and everything else. And there are some personality types to where those things bring in psychological and Freudian associations that they don't want to deal with. And so they prefer to be in another realm. And that bubble of reality for them does not include things that are trivial and banal to the lesser age groups, let's say. So there are different focuses and different spirits of being. For example, somebody's trying to close a multi-million-dollar deal, works on Wall Street and everything else. You start playing Barney to him, he's going to freak the fuck out because it's like too slow.
Well,
I love it. But tell me what you want.
I
Get
don't
it
know.
over with. Let's
I
do
don't
this.
know. I still think there was something weird about how, because you're not the only one. It was a mass hating campaign that just seemed to go on and on. And I just never really understood it because I'm thinking to myself,
And it was visceral. I don't understand it either. In
I
fact,
know.
I ended up singing the same dinosaur songs to my kids, and it's useful and it was instructive and it was great. And it was
Yeah,
one of the best animations that I actually played to my kids. But I
yeah.
still remember when I was growing up going, I hate that fucking dinosaur, until I had to show him to my kids. Things changed. You
Yeah.
know, the difference between being a non-parent and being a parent.
You know what show I
Interesting.
really liked was the original Blue's Clues. That rocked. That was with Steve. That was fantastic, I have to say.
You know what?
Blue's Clues.
Now, as old as you are, I don't remember that one.
You don't remember Blue's Clues? Oh man, it was for me, you know, because I create children's products and children's shows.
Okay, yeah, I know Hasbro.
Yeah, and I've pitched children's shows to Hasbro, and so Blue's Clues is this guy. His name is Steve. He always wears the same shirt, a striped shirt. I even made a meme using Steve and Blue's Clues. Q's Clues, I think I called it. And Blue was a Q. But Blue is a little blue cartoon.
Just like you're in VisiCube.
Cartoon dog. And Blue leaves paw prints as hints, and they have to solve the mystery of what Blue wants. And he gets out his little, it's just a brilliant, brilliant show. And it's done so simply. It was done so simply. And Steve left the show and they tried with another guy and it just hasn't been working. I think they're still doing it, but look up Blue's Clues. It's a pretty cool idea for a show for little kids again, but I thought it was very well done and very simple and very sweet. But yeah, kids need more.
Terry Hopper is asking people to break out in song and dance in real life. So, hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Yeah, I know. I saw something in here too. Who was it? Oh yeah, Q Trendsetter said, I grew up watching Captain Kangaroo, Mr. Green Jeans. I also recall waking up Saturday mornings to catch cartoons. Oh yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, Saturday morning cartoons were the best. It was the only time that I'd wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I hated waking up for school, but I'd wake up on Saturdays.
Yeah. Yeah. Great stuff.
And I'm trying to see what image Dark Brain thinks that I would freak out about. I didn't go back far enough.
No? Let's see here. Did the cat turd?
Going through the chat because it's lively tonight, and when you're in the middle of the Zoom, I don't see any of that, and in fact, it takes up the entire screen, so I completely lose the chat, and all our best buds and family are there.
Sorry about that.
You know, we got Mud Rabbit, and we got Jacob, and we got Dark Brain, and we got Terry, and we got everybody in the house. So
yeah,
yeah, that's always yeah, that was when I was singing the dinosaur song. Yeah, that's what you do with kids. And yes, it's bizarre. I'm watching the chat, and then I'm seeing myself on lag. Because
I know it.
There's a lag between the video and us, so that's slightly bizarre. But yeah, I actually prefer talking to you, which is the reason I jumped on tonight, because Aaron, you're always an inspiration, and
Thanks,
I
buddy.
loved having you on Jacob's channel. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
And like I mentioned in the chat, yeah, I jump into your profile absolutely every day so I can catch up on my memes. You know, like you said, you've got to take a meme and share a meme. That's what we do. It's meme warfare.
Yeah. It's memes are going to change the world. Memes.
Yeah, and you joke about that, but in reality, it is, because
I believe it. I believe it. I totally believe it. I think because memes are kind of like I equate them to flashcards. You know,
But
flashcards.
it's information warfare. It's giving out succinct information on a really rapid platform. It's simple. It's, a couple of phrases and boom, you got the entire idea, you got the image, you got the information, and you're good to go for the next one to keep up the heat, to keep it boiling. Because it's time not for them to boil the frogs, but the frogs to boil the snakes.
Here's
I love that picture. That's good that you put a bigger version of that one up there.
That's the
when you were
awesome
showing.
possum. That's the awesome possum. There he
Awesome.
is. That's the line drawing. Next, I got to add the color.
But he's so cutesy, man. There's no ferocity or nothing for you to fear about this. I mean, if I were a wolf, I'd just eat him up. He looks like lunch.
No, he'd be making friends with the wolf, teaching him how to eat vegetables.
Okay, and that takes us back to a poem that was asked repeatedly for Trump to repeat, and that was a woman who took in a frozen snake in the middle of the winter.
Oh yeah, yes.
Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
That's the same thing about a lamb befriending a wolf, because sooner or later you're going to find yourself in the company of wolves, and they're going to be debating democratically who's for dinner. And sorry, your minority vote usually doesn't fucking count. Lamb chops, really fucking tasty. So yeah, let's make sure we're not lamb chops. Make sure that you have your stock of water, of food, definitely, and that you aren't dependent on somebody who's going to require you to do something that you don't want to do in order to keep receiving your paycheck. I know it's too late to be saying we need to think
what
about
paycheck? What paycheck?
Yeah, those who still make paychecks, make sure that it's coming from a place that isn't going to require more things. Because you're right, after the 18th of October, that changed for many. And so, yeah, how many years were in the tribulation? I think 7, 3.5 was it going to be at the end. So we've been going through this shit for 2 years, which means we've got another year and a half of this garbage to go through. And we've got hyperinflation, which is exactly what Revelation said it was going to be, to where a loaf of bread would cost you a day's wages. Whatever you do, don't get the mark. But for that, you need to find a way to survive. And then that's where things that on my mountain, I tried to predict all the things that I would need, but the most fundamental things that I most require, my wife reminded me day before yesterday that they are not up to snuff, let's say. Why? Because we've got everything except food. Got no chickens or fish or things that I planned to do, I haven't been able to finish doing. So for food, I'm still dependent on the system, and that bothers me in the current events that we face.
Yeah. Well, even when you buy a cabbage, after you're done eating it, you can take that stump and put it in water, and it will grow and grow new leaves. And I did that, and I was like, but then I couldn't eat the new leaves because it was like I'm nurturing it back to health. I don't want to hurt it.
No, you're not hurting it. It's actually what it does. Consider it like a haircut.
Yeah, I know.
Because you're putting the head back into the dirt for it to make more hair. The thing is that it takes a while for that thing, and are you going to live on cabbage? That works for carrots, it works for radishes, it works for lettuce, it works for cabbage. Yes, you can do that for all of those, and I have done that, and I've got potatoes as well, and
potatoes.
Other things.
I have
however,
I have an avocado tree.
I've got they're there, but they're the Brazilian type. I've got another 2 that are the avocados that you're used to. That I still need to plant.
Trees?
Huh?
You have avocado trees?
Actually, I had one avocado tree that I got from a Brazilian avocado, which is a little bit different than the
Yeah.
Mexican variant that I'm used to, the California variant that we're used to there in the US.
Yeah.
They call that the purple one down here. It's smaller, more concentrated. That's the flavor that I like. The
Okay.
Brazilian is larger, it's more watered down and that sort of thing. But it's a relatively big tree. My wife didn't like the shade that it was putting on the kitchen. So I cut the tree down and I threw the
Oh,
stump over on my third lot. And lo and behold, the stump was still alive and it gave root. And now I have four avocado trees that came up out of that one stump, because the stump ended up giving life to four avocado trees. And that's the fruit that some of the birds that visit me so frequently actually enjoy eating. Um, I don't enjoy that avocado specifically as much, which is why I planted last year, which is why they're now small trees. And I need to actually put them into the dirt. And maybe in 5 years, I'll have the kind of avocado that I want. In the meantime, um, are you going to eat avocados every day? Yeah, I guess surviving on avocados and eggs, if I can get some chickens in the meantime,
yeah. There you
that
go.
would be possible.
Yeah. I have a avocado tree, but I've had it for many years. It's never fruited out. So
Seriously?
seriously, although I left it outside, I think last year, too long, and it got frostbit and the top part died, but then the bottom part is
It's in a
still
pot,
alive.
you're saying, and you carry it around.
Yeah. Well, I live in up in the tundra, so it would die if I left it outside.
True. True. You're
It
right
half
there.
died. It half died, and I was like, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" I don't have a very green thumb, so
But one of
I
the things
even
that I
had,
think my grandfather was orange. He was one of the largest orange merchant in Mexico City. He was in charge of oranges for the city. But in his house, he had an avocado tree that he grew in his front yard. And it grew today, it's probably about 15 meters, which is about
wow,
45 feet
yeah,
tall.
wow.
So yeah, that's a big tree, and yeah, it's dropping avocados all the damn time. So that's why I was shocked that yours wasn't producing. Mine, it took avocados usually take about 7 years to actually give fruit.
Oh,
But if you've had it for years, it should be. However, that's when they are firm in their own soil, they're comfortable, and they can actually be stress-free to reproduce because, after all, the fruit are children.
6 or
They're
7 years.
baby fucking plants. You're
6 or 7
eating the
years. Okay.
plant's children. That's what we fucking do.
Okay. Um, I
Tomatoes, the same thing. Potatoes, you're actually eating the root of the plant. You're eating the plant itself. Sometimes you can eat half of it and then plant the other half, and then you're recreating your food source. Okay, so yeah, we do that with vegetable species, which we don't recognize as sentient.
all right.
Studies have shown that that is not necessarily the case.
Mm,
So who's to say that others that regard us as less sentient wouldn't be willing to do the same thing with us? And therein lies the point that I would like to make. We can be viewed as food by those who don't wish us well, and we must be careful not to interfere with them or not come in contact or get the fuck as far away as we can from them. But that's a whole nother story, another rabbit hole. We're not going down there. Bring me back to light things. Give me a dad joke.
well, I just had something up on the screen that was a book that I wrote and illustrated. Here's another one.
Oh,
This
yo, those are good. I like
is
those.
actually the first one. It's called Masuday's Wish. And this story is about this little girl named Masuday. And she, her mother was the queen. She didn't have a father. Now, there is a little girl named Masuday, or was, and she was in my daycare class, and she was quite a handful, let me tell you. And one day when she came to school, she also did not have a father. Her father passed away, sadly. And so she came into school one day and she had braids in her hair, 2 braids on one on either side. And her mom said, could you try to help Masuday try to keep her braids in? We're going someplace after daycare. I said, okay, I'll see what I can do. And so at nap time, she wanted to hear a story. So I made up a story about Princess Masuday. And her mother was the queen of this land. And she went to the wizard and told the wizard that she wanted to make her wishes come true. So he said, well, it would take
How do
you.
you pronounce her name? Just out of curiosity.
Masuday.
Masuday.
It's actually the female version of Masood. Her father was from Iran. Her father was from Iran.
Okay. Explain. Thank you very much.
Okay. Her mother was American. So anyway, so the wizard said, well, Masuday would take too long to train you to be a wizard. But what I can do is I can braid for you these magical braids. And as long as you have these braids in, as long as you keep the braids in, your wishes will come true. And so she's all excited and she wishes for a crystal ball, and she gives it to the wizard to thank him. And she goes off into the fragrant flowered fields, and she wishes for a Pegasus. No, a unicorn. I think she was a unicorn first.
Why do they always ask for a unicorn? What is it about unicorns?
I don't know, but a unicorn appeared, and she wrote it, and she was having fun, and she later asked for a Pegasus, so she's flying around on it, and then she grabbed her braids, and she said, what I really want is a friend. I want a friend to share all these things with. And nothing happened. And she tried again and again, and nothing happened. She went to the wizard. She was all dejected, and she said, there's something wrong with these braids, because I tried wishing for a friend and nothing happened. And the wizard said, well, that's what I tried to tell you, Masuday, before you ran off. This only works on animals and things. If you want a friend, you have to be a friend, and you have to,
That's deep.
And so she goes off on a quest to find a friend. And so she finds this boy. He's playing with frogs, and he's very interesting, but don't have a lot in common. So she keeps going on her way, and then she meets another girl that is not like flowers. She's like allergic to flowers or something. And so she keeps going, and she's walking along in the valley, and she sees these wildflowers, and she goes off the beaten path a little bit, and she's collecting flowers, and she bumps into this other girl, and they kind of fall down, and they're both collecting flowers. And of course they both love flowers. And it turns out it was this blonde girl named Cassidy, who coincidentally, Masuday's best friend in class was this blonde girl named Cassidy. So I put her in the story.
That works.
And they pick flowers all the time, which end up being like dandelions out in the backyard of this daycare. So anyway.
Why are they picking flowers?
Because they love flowers so much. So she says, I have these magic braids, and I live with the queen. I'm a princess. And she goes, oh, really? And she goes, yeah, watch. I will wish for a nice shiny wagon to pull our flowers in. She goes, oh, okay. That's nice. Oh, you must come to the castle with me. So she comes to the castle, and they're having fun, and they're flying on the Pegasus and riding the unicorn every day. And then one day while playing hopscotch, her braids come out. Her braids fall out. And then the Pegasus is gone, and the unicorn is gone, and the wagon's gone. And Masuday's all sad. And she said, I've lost everything. And Cassie says, you still have me. I'm still your friend. You'd still be my friend even if my wishes can't come true? Yes, I'll be your friend even if your wishes don't come true. And so then, boom, there it is. True friendship. And that's kind of like the end.
Exactly what she wished for. She
Yeah.
lost everything else, but what she wanted was somebody that was really through thick and thin. That's friendship.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful story.
Thanks.
That is the essence of humanity. I mean, that's what we're supposed to be doing. After all, you allowed me onto your channel, and that's a sign of the relative friendship that we have as well, through Facebook and all the time since Red Pills. Jacob is on there, and Mud Rabbit, the friendship that I've developed over the last months, with that entire crew, and Divine Tiffany, if she's in there, and Dark Brain. Holy cow, when he showed up on your show, I have never seen any of these people. We all live on places that are thousands of miles distant from myself. However, I feel this sort of kinship and friendship. I don't know if it's misplaced or not. But yeah, Masuday's wish is
it's
things
legit.
that we all.
Yeah, it's totally legit. It's legit. It's totally legit, dude. All of our friendships all over this world.
Thank you very much. And Masuday's wish is basically an essence of what we as humanity have a hunger and a thirst for, anthropologically speaking. Because as humanity survived and existed was because of society. We have genetically developed to be social creatures because we require each other to survive. Individually, we can't survive. And that's the essence of that flag. Divided we fall, united we stand. And that's where we need to be. We need to be united against those who are trying to divide us, who are trying to rip us down. Why? Because we will survive. Oh my God, I'm just singing that song in my head now.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of times, I think part of the hatred of Barney was, when we're kids, we always want to be an adult. But when we're an adult, a lot of times we look back and go, wow, I should have enjoyed myself as a kid.
It's always better where we weren't.
There's a little bit of resentment there sometimes. So I think sometimes when you're an adult and think of kid stuff, for me, I grew up at a time when it seemed like all the fun stuff happened right after I was just a little bit too big for it. Like my little brother got a big wheel. It's like, oh man, they didn't even exist when I was small enough to ride one.
All my friends had big wheels. I didn't.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I always wanted a big wheel. And when I finally got one, I was too big to actually ride it. And I was like, yeah, I can do the things, but I can do that on my bigger bike too. So I evolved past it. But yeah, I always wanted that big wheel. I love that fucking big wheel. I wanted to have, pull that brake and it just slides out behind you. And that big ass wheel looks like a fucking Harley Davidson.
I think they make them for adults, dude. You might get your dream come true, dude.
Holy crap. No, only if they do it for the water. I want to do the waves on that one. Yeah. I'm still trying to make my dad's dream come true to where he got a pair of Sea-Doos and we're playing around in the waves. That's what my dad always wanted. So I'm still trying to make that one a reality.
That's cool. That's cool.
I can't even get an up-to-date car, much less a wave runner. But hey, that's a whole nother story. Maybe Bitcoin will change that. But anyway.
Hey, Guy Incognito, how you doing? Welcome to the show. All right.
Reporting. Mud Rabbit's got lots of stuff, including some false flags, and I wanted to mention to you that you need to make a false flag to where all the words run together. They think it means nothing, but in reality, they all mean something absolutely. Look out, because these motherfuckers are trying to play with our minds in ways that we don't think. It's a whole dark rabbit hole that we need to. No, you've already gone down a lot of them, and but it's about for the 17th letters things to start coming true, and we are in Red October, are we not?
Yeah. Hey, did you see those pictures of 107 I posted earlier?
I mentioned to those to you. I love those. I never imagined his face was like that, but it's not a surprise. It goes along with the boots, and I can imagine a voice associated with those with that face. But let me ask you a deeper question. Why did 107 allow his face to actually be published if the only thing we've seen up until now are boots? Is it because there's nothing left to fear and the end is near?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. Oh, Guy Incognito says, hey, Aaron, ordered your game, bud. Can't wait. Oh, really? Oh, I'll have to look for that order. Tell me where you ordered it from so I can follow up on it.
Oh yeah, Doc Brain's on it. If it was a 16-year plan, we'd be under lockdowns right now, and the graphene laden toxic chemical compound that includes parasites and everything else that can actually reduce the generators of carbon dioxide. That would be still in about 3 or 4 years from now. That wouldn't be in there as yet. So it would, yeah. It's a good thing that the T-Man got in there because he was able to undo a lot of things. Now I saw that on your Facebook. I gotta say it looks like it, but I don't know. That one's kind of reaching, I think, but it could be because the nose fits, the jaw structure fits, and everything else. But I'm thinking that's reaching. Now the one about his ex-wife, yeah, in the background during the T-Man rallies, yeah, that one I get you. Did you see the new images of Diane aged and still smiling?
Oh, you mean Princess Diana?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Beautiful lady. She's got to be running around in her upper 70s and something like that, but she's a beautiful lady. So that's going to be good to see. There's some people we miss that will be back, and there are some people that some people like that will no longer be seen because of who they really are. Yeah, the veils.
And just for kicks, I wanted to let people know about this image that's on the screen right now. Is I took the GFK image and I superimposed it over the 107 image, and I manipulated and turned each one so it was
Oh, you're trying to say that he's 107? No. Isn't he the guy that's in the back of the Trump rallies?
No, that's Vincent Fusca.
Yeah, Fusca. He isn't him?
No.
Oh, okay. So I'm mistaken.
So what I'm saying here is I took this image of JFK Jr. and superimposed it.
107's accent's
let me
different.
finish.
Not JFK's.
Let me finish.
All right.
I worked to make sure they were the exact same angle, the nose angle and the forehead angle and everything, and the ear is all in line. And I made it the exact same size so that the edge of the ear lined up to the tip of the nose and everything, and it all lined up. That doesn't happen very often.
You've even got the crook in the nose.
Everyone's got different
yeah, absolutely. I agree with you there.
From the nose to the cheek to the ear, this guy looks very close. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's him. I don't have enough evidence to show that, but I think it's very close.
It's a hypothesis, and it can be made. Now that you put out those that bunch of evidence, yeah, it makes some sense. Now I need to match up the voice because it's been a long time since I've actually heard Junior's voice.
Right.
And yeah, there's voice training that can be done over time, but the amount of videos that 107's done, you get a sense for things, and they're very similar. Now that's bizarre. Don't think they're the same, but thing is that I'm thinking Junior's coming back eventually. And I'm thinking eventually sooner rather than later. The only problem is that we've got our ports in California, which are blocked off because obviously we're not going to allow things coming in from an enemy state when we're in the middle of war. They declared war on us, and obviously we're not going to let their shit come in here. Unfortunately, their shit's what we use to normally survive. So it's like a siege. So yeah, we're in WW3, and that's why I'm saying, make sure you got your community, the ones around you. Survival is key. If you live in rural areas, find the farmer closest to you that you'll have access to some kind of food. If you live in a city, get the fuck out.
And
while you still can.
And if you have the luck to have this product, the time machine, if you don't have any
food, my buddy,
you can just go into the future where there will be food. So there you go. With the time machine, everything's possible. How do you like that?
Everything's possible. The time machine. I like that little doodad, Aaron. It's one of my favorite. Well, it is not my favorite. No. And actually, my favorite has now been replaced. I cannot call the Invisimask my favorite.
What? No, the Invisimask?
I'm sorry. After I saw Todd wearing your swag, I saw that Truth Quest hoodie is my favorite. I got to tell you, that big ass golden Q on the chest, man.
That Q can be seen from satellites. It's so big.
And I guarantee you it is. Every time you wear it, you will be surveilled by satellite.
That's right. So you want to show your support for 17th letter.
17th letter. It's always a good thing.
Truth Quest hoodie or sweatshirt.
The Invisimask is definitely my number 2. But that golden Q, that I'm sorry, but that's got to be my number 1, because that's just a beautiful image. And yes, we have but you got to have your Invisicubes.
These are cool, the super cubes.
Exactly. I was going to say the Invisicube, although those are the super cubes. I need to see the Invisicube.
Where is the invisible one? That would be the green one.
Yes. Jacob's been wanting to play with the Invisicube.
In here. There's green ones.
All right. Well, there it is. There it is, the Invisicube.
This is the super cube.
You got to raise it up so we can actually see Will Shatner's face through the Invisicube. There you go. There you go. It's Captain Kirk through the Invisicube.
And no, it disappears.
He disappears.
Because he's not on the background. He's actually physically taped. And
there you go. He's pinned on there.
Yeah, he's magnetized on there.
Seriously? Oh wow. You're just dealing in all different dimensions, man, aren't you?
Well, I had to do it the hard way, I had to do it the hard way. There he is.
There he is.
See
Mr. Shatner. But you know what's going to be missing now, you've really got to have a Spock on the other side, or what was the name of the doctor?
Dr. McCoy.
McCoy. Yeah, but I prefer Spock. Live long and prosper. We'll go on that one. What was that? A laser shaver?
Yeah, my laser shaver. Hey, Terry Hopper, Aaron Moriarty's Truth Quest, Aaron Moriarty's time machine works. It does everything that it's advertised to do. Well, there you go.
Yes, there is truth in advertising on Aaron Moriarty's Truth Quest. There is truth in advertising.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but the big bonus they get is they get the Super Cube 6-pack when they get the time machine.
Don't give out more than what you can do. Come on, come
These
on.
are so much fun, but I don't know, Miguel. You might not want these because this thing flies off your mountain. Where is it going to go? It's going to go down in the valley somewhere. Who knows?
Oh,
You never know where it's going to go.
that's only if I do it outdoors in my patio. I'll be playing indoors in my home theater. I just gotta, it won't break my big screen, will it?
I've thrown them as hard as I can at pane glass windows. I can't break a window with them, but I wouldn't suggest throwing it at a TV. But
Yeah, but if I'm
they're
playing
very,
around in the
very
home theater
cushiony.
with the
They're kind of
Invisicube,
cushiony.
I'm sure it won't break. Okay,
It's
it won't. It'll be hard to find sometimes underneath the cabinet, but
They're always hard to find. They're guaranteed to be hard to find. Your money back. Yeah.
that's why it's a super cube, super hard to find.
Guaranteed to bounce different every time. They float in water, so you can't lose it when you're swimming.
Well, that's good here in Joinville because it's the fourth rainiest place on earth. So it's good when everything's flooded. I can find my super cube.
You can float away on them like a raft.
If I get enough of them, I'm gonna have to get
Altogether.
enough of them, definitely.
But I think
What do I
sharks
do when
like
there's
playing with them, so I wouldn't make a raft out of them. Sharks like them too.
true? But if I made a raft out of them, it might help. But I don't know if there's a 120-foot tidal wave coming. I don't know if my super cubes will help that much.
Just keep them
They'll
in your
float.
pocket. Keep them in your pocket. They'll come in handy someday.
There you go. In my pocket, as the wave overtakes me, I'll be buoyant and I'll float. My pockets will save me. My super cubes will save me in the event of a tsunami. You're absolutely right. Thank you very much, Aaron.
Well,
Always
also, I think maybe we should all just always have like surfboards on our feet, just in case a tsunami comes. We can just ride the wave.
surfboards on our feet.
Yeah.
But see, I'm already a size 12, so
That means you know what that means? That means you have a good understanding.
which means I don't need skis.
A good understanding. Yeah.
Understanding. Oh my God, it took me a while. Yeah, I got that now. Holy shit. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
That's actually a mom joke. That's from my mom, because she used to say that about my brother Mark.
That's why I didn't understand it. Because see, I'm a dad. I didn't get the mom joke. I got it now. All right.
My brother Mark has size 13 triple D.
Holy cow.
He's got
they don't make shoes that size.
He has to special order them. Yeah.
Especially triple D.
He's got flat feet too. Flat feet.
Those aren't flat feet. Those are flat flippers, man. I mean, holy cow.
He has flat feet. I used to think that the reason that he had flat feet is because in the summertime he used to always go barefoot and he'd walk across the hot tar. And I didn't know how he could do it. I thought they melted.
He melted his bones, his cartilage melted, and so he squished out to make the fins. However, one of the things that I do enjoy down here, my entire life before 25 and I was in North America, I barely took socks off my feet. I was always in socks and shoes.
Yeah.
So much so that the hair on my ankles goes up to where the sock line is. Literally, the socks wore off the hair off my the lower part of my legs, right, the ankles. And up here, I'm wearing sandals at this particular moment. I'm wearing flip-flops at this moment. And on my grass,
thongs anymore. You can't call them thongs anymore.
No.
We used to call those thongs.
You won't see me wearing thongs. Don't say I don't wear them, but you won't see me wearing them. Damn straight. Now. That's a joke, son. Anyway, I like to walk barefoot down here. Some of the things that I couldn't necessarily do. In my joke the other night, it was a joke about chiggers. Yes, grass in Oklahoma, you can't walk barefoot because the chiggers will, scratch you like crazy.
Little red things, they'll bite you. Chiggers. Yeah.
I don't know what color they are. They're too damn small to see. All I know is they itch like a motherfucker.
They're red. They're red. I've seen them. They're little red dots. and they're not.
So I get down here, I don't have that problem. Actually, we got little black dots down here. They're not red.
Yeah.
Here they're called something else. My God, I'm trying to think of the word my mother-in-law used. And they're here all the time. One time I put some repellent on my monitor screen, and for 3 days I was wiping black dots off the back of it. Maduim. Okay, that's a name in Portuguese for chiggers. Maduim. Maduim. That's chiggers in Portuguese. So yeah, they're a problem here too, but not as bad, especially where I'm at. So I walk barefoot, especially in the house. I got stone on the floor, did that for a purpose. So yeah, I like to walk barefoot, and I feel like my feet have spread out. They haven't become flippers, no, but they have spread out. And
oh, neat. Yeah.
It takes a while. Whenever I want to put my old Texas cowboy boots back on, I got to squeeze my feet back in there because they ain't the same size. They're more relaxed and loosed out. And those cowboy boots were nice and tight, and they made sure that everything needs to be where it's got to be to do what it's got to do. Because son, yeah, it's a whole nother attitude of being.
Cowboy boots rock. Yeah.
And no, I didn't eat cheese curds. You were going back into the chat. I didn't go there.
I don't eat them either.
Mud Rabbit can go around barefoot because she's in Florida.
Now, when I found out stocking was illegal, I stopped wearing socks. Yeah, definitely.
Stocking is illegal. I don't know. I did that to a couple of high school girlfriends. Holy shit, I didn't know it was illegal.
Yeah, boy, anyway, stocking's illegal, but so look at it. You know what that means? No more serenading, right? Can't serenade anymore. All the romantic things are done, gone.
Absolutely. You can't be chivalrous anymore. I mean, you want to open a door and they tell you I can do it myself. Okay, fine.
Yeah. I saw funny, you probably saw this too. A woman writes a tweet. Do men open car doors anymore? And a man answers, how do you think we get in?
Yeah, I saw that one. That was a couple of weeks ago, actually. But yeah, I remember that one on your page.
That was hilarious.
Funny. How do you think we get in? We open car doors every fucking day.
Yeah, I like opening doors for women,
I used to on a constant basis.
Yeah, it's a gentlemanly thing to do.
Yeah, and I always consider myself to be that, more or less, kind of.
And what happened to my aunt once? She opened a heavy door by herself, and she lost her footing, fell, and the door came and like broke her ankle, and she was in the hospital and this poor woman's been in the hospital most of her life. But yeah, so opening a door for somebody could save their life, could save them a lot of pain.
Well, I will definitely think about that, because there was one time to where I went into, and this thing traumatizes me, and it's one of those forgiveness things that I still need to deal with. Because there was this building in Dallas to where I went in, the door was locked, and there was this mass of people, about 8 people, that was sitting there, and they were waiting for the door to be open. And I'm thinking, well, hell, I'm just going to sit here with everybody else? No. And so I went around the building to the front door, and it was open. And I went in the front door, and I went into the American Airlines counter, and I was going to buy a ticket, and I was the second one in line. Next one goes up, I was going to go. And I'm seeing those people in that locked door still, there. And I'm like, well, I'm standing in line. I'm not doing anything. So I go over there and I open that door. And I hold it open for the people to come in. Lo and behold, one of the people that I opened the door for ended up going to the American Airlines counter. And when I got back to the counter, I said, sorry, ma'am, that's my place in line. And she argued with me because no, she was there first. And I said, I was the one who held the door for you. She said, nobody held the door for anybody. The door just opened and I came in. So from that point forward, I've had a serious problem in being generally kind to people for no reason, just because my father tells me to be that way, which I try to do. But sometimes you just feel like slapping a person silly. But that maybe that's just me, and that's why I live on my little mountain, secluded in my jungle, so I don't have to slap people silly.
You just drop boulders on them from your mountaintop.
Yeah, here I'll be doing more like Bolsonaro folders, but that's about the same damn thing. Bolsonaro really is the Brazilian Trump, although like everything, he is not the real one, because the real Trump is one badass motherfucker, and I hope he actually he still is, but I hope he makes his true presence known soon.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Because we know he's still president, but we need him to start doing shit because China's doing shit that we don't want them to do. But then again, that's also 5D chess. You think China's dealing with Biden, which he's already fucking bought off. You know, Cokehead's son made sure of that under his dad's instructions, obviously. So they're doing all the things that they wanted to do. And we had today, you know, exercises with China and Russia swirling around Japan just to give them a warning. Don't mess with us. Why? Because they're about to go into Taiwan. Now, last week, Joe Biden says, yeah, we've got an agreement. If Taiwan is attacked, we'll have to retaliate and defend them. So Joe Biden was saying that we will be into a scuffle with China, but China says, we own that bitch. So we're not worried. And so, yeah, they're planning literally to do that. And they have no fear because, after all, they circumvented our electoral process and corruptly bought the majority of the politicians they needed to do the things that it did. And whatever the China didn't do, Soros did on the local level with AGs and everything else. So it's going to be a fun 6 months, buddy.
Yeah. Yep.
Sure. However, we saw that a guy from Friends left today, the bartender from Friends. He is no longer with us, and I would put him in the same category that was people will die of COVID for alternative reasons. I don't know if you remember those particular drops.
Well, we're not going to mention that name on here, remember?
Exactly, which is why I'm trying to avoid it as much as possible.
Yeah. I think actually we're going to wrap this up because it's getting kind of late and my dogs are barking out there.
It is, and it's closing in on 3:00 in the morning my time. So
I
appreciate it. Thank you very much, Aaron.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Love your show, and thank you for allowing me on. It has been a tremendous pleasure. Mud Rabbit, Terry, Jacob, and Deep Brain, anybody else who I didn't mention, thank you very much. It has been a hoot reading y'all's chats and being along. And again, it was a pleasure being here, Aaron. Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling in. Take care.
Good night.
Okay. All right, friends. Thank you for coming back. I'm sorry about the mishap that happened earlier. And, Red Pill just came on? Oh, good. I'll have to go check him out. So I'm going to say good night, everybody. So I want to wish you all a very, very good night. Keep your cameras ready to film that UFO so you can come on the Truth Quest and talk about it. Wednesday should be in the early morning, my interview with Bernie Mendez. So tune in. It's going to be 7:00 Eastern time, or right around there. And also catch the replay if you didn't see it live, because it's going to be great. He's a legend. He's a truth warrior. And so keep your eyes on the skies. Keep ready to take that picture of that UFO so you can come on that Truth Quest. Until then, peace in, and thank you, Catherine Weiss, for the very generous super chat. Until Wednesday, folks, peace in.